So that's coming up just right around the corner. And I wanted to give you just an overview of what the Gold documentation app will allow you to do. So whenever you, for one thing, it is free. So when you go to the Apple Store, you can download the Teaching Strategies Gold documentation app for free. And then you'll see here that once you've logged in, you'll be able to choose 3 different modes. So you'll have a camera where you can take pictures, video, and then also audio clips. So you can choose which mode you would like. And then you'll be able to select children. So you can see that we have a video, and we have pictures, and then the audio clip is the microphone there. So depending on which mode you choose, you'll still be able to tie that to 1 or more children. And then the next step is going to be tying that documentation note, in whichever mode you've chosen, to 1 or more objectives and dimensions. Now what 2.0 is going to allow you to do is also take this a step further and be able to choose a preliminary level within the Gold documentation app. So that's been the biggest feedback that we have received from customers, and so we're happy that that's going to be available again in early fall. So really you can see how you can this is really going to streamline the observation process. So as teachers are adding their documentation notes, they're going to be able to capture pictures, videos, audio clips, choosing 1 or more children, choosing multiple objectives and dimensions. And then you're going to see in the upper right-hand side this cloud button. And so when you click on the cloud button, it's going to automatically send that to Teaching Strategies Gold. So then whenever the teacher will log into Teaching Strategies Gold online, they can go to the documentation tab, and they can click on view portfolio or view documentation, and then all of the documentation notes that they have captured within the Gold documentation app is going to be available right there within that child's portfolio. And so again, we are going to have the option of entering in preliminary levels in the fall. So that's definitely coming up soon. One of the ways, we still have teachers that prefer the paper pencil method to uploading or to adding their documentation notes. And so the nice thing about the app is that even if you do prefer to handwrite your documentation notes, you can take a picture within the app of those notes and then be able to, again, tie it to children, tie to objectives and dimensions, and be able to send it to Gold Online very seamlessly. So I really can reach a variety of different comfort levels within the Gold documentation app, and it's pretty seamless. Another thing that we have that is new is Teaching Strategies Gold Guide for Administrators. This is a document of about 75 pages or so. So if you want to save this to your desktop just for easy reference, we have wonderful screenshots that you can follow along with. But it's going to offer information about a lot of those first steps, so how you can add sites and programs and teachers and children and classrooms, and really how to create that structure of your license. So of course that's already in place for Kansas Head Start Association, the majority of the programs. But for newer programs, this is a really wonderful resource that we've been hearing some great feedback about. And as you know, we already have the Teacher's Quick Start Guide that focuses more on the teacher site and that functionality. So now we're happy to also have the navigation behind the administrator site. We are, another exciting new development is the birth through 3rd grade expansion. And so, Suzanne, are you currently back online?
I am. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now. I'm sorry that you were, I don't know what happened there.
Would you like to talk about the, I don't know.
I don't know.
Sure.
Would you like to talk about the birth through 3rd grade expansion?
I would be happy to. So I think that one of the largest projects that we're working on currently at the office from both the technology team as well as the content team is our expansion of Gold through 3rd grade. And I know that we had mentioned this on our last call, but we are in the thick of getting things ready for our field test pilot. And on the next screen, if you could show that, Ashley, the quick glimpse of are progressions going on all the way up through 3rd grade. So you can see that there are now some new color bands that you'll see that, of course, account going up to 3rd grade, and that the levels are going up increasingly higher. So when we have more to show based on feedback from the field test and everything about what this actually will look like, we'll definitely provide more intensive overview. But we just wanted to let you see some of what's going on, and we're very, very excited about that. The other thing that we're working on for the fall is the inter-rater reliability. Really, it's more the certification process that we're making some changes to based on feedback that we've gotten from many that have gone through the certification process. What we've done is we're creating a PDF resource that will be available when teachers are in the system going through the certification process to really help them understand some of the meaning behind the different indicators in gold. So it'll become a great resource to really help their inter-rater reliability certification and help them understand the levels and the indicators even better. So that document's going to be available probably in gold for download in the next 2 to 4 weeks. The other thing that we will have available for inter-rater reliability is the option when teachers complete the certification, they will be able to see which items they were incorrect on. So that will allow them to just know the areas where they might need further information, maybe read the objectives for development and learning a little bit more closely, or just study those items a little bit further so that they feel more confident about the ratings that they're making for the items that they struggled with. So those are both going to be, that's going to be available in the fall as well. So we're very excited about that.
Another item that's
and I
going to be...
think, yeah, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, just one more update with the inter-rater reliability. We will be sending out a reminder email whenever the inter-rater reliability certification is about to expire. So it is a 3-year process. So whenever you take the inter-rater reliability certification, those results are good for 3 years. And so once you hit that 3-year marker, you will receive an email that will update you that it's time to take the inter-rater reliability certification again, just to make sure that you're definitely up to speed with the progressions for development learning and evaluating those portfolios.
Great. Thank you, Ashley. Great.
All right,
would
Susan,
you like
want
to
to
go
try
back
again?
to? Yes. Why don't we do that? Hopefully the cause of the problem wasn't you switching it over to me. I really don't know. Okay. So can you all still hear me?
Yes, sure.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right. So what I wanted to share, before I go back into going through the report, I just wanted to also follow up on something that Ashley was saying related to the documentation app and some additional resources that you all might be interested in. One of the tabs that I have open on my screen is the Colorado Results Matter website. And if you just do a Google search for Results Matter video library, it'll take you right to this page. But what I wanted to point out is that there are a lot of great training resources here. And then there's a section in the video categories, one being iPads in early childhood, and then another using technology for authentic assessment. So these areas will give you, there are lots of quick video clips on things that you can do to help streamline the process by using technology, and just, gives you some ideas on things that are happening in other classrooms in Colorado for making this process a little bit more simpler. Some of them are really basic, but then others are for more advanced users, so I think there's something for everybody here. So once again, to get to it, it's the Results Matter video library, so if you just Google that, you'll cut right to this page. It's on the Colorado Department of Education website. Okay, so it's a great resource. Moving back over to Teaching Strategies Gold, what I was saying earlier was in our last webinar we had gone through what the outputs of these reports look like, but we wanted to spend a little bit more time today going through the screen of just selecting all of the options and making sure everybody was on the same page with regard to knowing how to execute the report. So once again, I'm here on the administrator side of Gold, and the first report we're going to take a look at is the Comparative Report, which is the last selection on the page. And I just want to go through these options here with you all and make sure you didn't have any questions and knew what they all meant and what they would allow you to see once you generate the report. So the first section here under Areas of Development, you can choose to generate the report on all of the areas or domains in Teaching Strategies Gold, or you can uncheck some of them and just isolate one or more if needed. So that's what you can do on that section. Moving down under Programs, Sites, and Children, depending on your level of administrative access to Gold, you may want to exclude some of the programs that you have access to when you generate the report. So to do that, you would choose Only Include Children in Certain Programs or Sites, and then you would see all the programs that you have access to and sites, and you could uncheck as needed. Okay, I'm just going to keep everything checked off, though. Then moving down, the demographic options. This allows you to choose to include or exclude based on, gender, race, ethnicity, any custom questions that you might have in the license. If you want to do based on birth date range, you could do that, IEP status, etc. Okay. What I do find a lot of programs like to use is sometimes this first day in program field to allow them to isolate the newer students versus those that have been in Gold longer. Moving down, you have this is where you really want to decide what report am I generating. Do I want to look at my data compared to the Gold widely held expectations, to the Teaching Strategies research-based nationally normative sample, or do I want to look at Gold readiness? Are the children at that Gold readiness benchmark that is defined by Teaching Strategies Gold? I think we spent some time on our last call looking at the readiness a little bit more, so I think I'm going to choose the national normative sample. And then once you do that, you select what we have loaded in here are the normative samples for, at this time, the preschool, 3-4-year-olds, the 4-5-year-olds, and then the kindergarten level. Our research team is working on creating normative samples for the other age groups, but we're still waiting for some more data to complete that. So I'm going to choose the pre-K 4 classroom, the blue color band, and then I'm going to take a look at the checkpoint periods for fall and winter of 10-11. And down in this area, if you want to only include children that have checkpoint data in all of the checkpoint periods that I selected, so it will weed out kids that don't have data for both of those, you would choose this option, the first one. If you want to be more inclusive,
Uh-oh. Did we lose her again? Ashley, are you there?
No, I'm here.
Okay. That's so...
I wonder why. That's so strange.
I wish there was a way to reset her, but I don't. Darn.
did she even restart it and sign back in?
It's so bizarre. Hmm. Well,
she just brought me back. Oh no, so maybe she'll try to call back in.
okay.
While it's generating, I don't know.
Okay. That's true. She can probably call in while it's generating. Is she?
This isn't working today, is it?
It's not. Darn.
She's going to call back in again.
Okay.
Okay, maybe I can take over, although I had to log back into Gold.
Do you want me to make you presenter, Ashley?
Yep, you can make me presenter. That works.
Okay.
Okay, we seem to be having continual audio problems, so I'm going to log in and see if I can go over some of the comparative and the growth report. Okay, so again, the comparative report is the last link under reports. And we're going to keep the same demographics, same information that Suzanne just chose. So we're going to keep it to all areas of development, all children, all demographics, national normative sample, pre-K4. And then we're going to look at the fall and the winter, 2010, 2011. And we're going to look at children in all checkpoint periods. And you're going to see there's two different display types. First way we're going to look is by chart, but you also have the option of by table. When you choose by table, you can really drill down to be quite specific. So if you want to go down to the child level, you can do that, or if you just want to look at your overall organization, you have that option as well. So looking at the chart first, we can then click View as HTML. That typically generates a bit more quickly. Of course, PDF is what you would choose if you want to print or email the report. But what the comparative report is doing is it's really leveling the playing field. So the different objectives and dimensions that are associated with each of the domains, you have varying, you have different number of objectives and dimensions, you have varying lengths of the color bands. And so the comparative report is really in an effort to try to compare or more easily compare the different areas of development and learning so that one area isn't more important than another area. We're really looking at the whole child. And so that's why you see some of these scores are a bit higher. It's on a scale between 200 and 800. And so the number at the top, the black bar, is going to be the top of that national normative sample. The national normative sample has about 30,000 children. And then the blue bar represents the bottom of the national normative sample range. And then the score that's probably going to be most important to you is going to be this red color band in the middle. And that's going to show you what your score is. So based on your selections in the previous page, that's the information we're looking at. So currently we're looking at all of the children on the pre-K4 color band within this particular demo organization that we have in place. And so you'll be able to see, the fall is going to be this first section here, and then you're going to be able to see the winter for the different domains. So the fall, social, emotional, physical, etc. So that's really where those numbers come into play. So it's not representing children or anything like that. It really is just some fancy formulas that the research team have put together to create those scaled scores. That's why the numbers are so high for the comparative report. If you would like to look at the data at the more child-specific level, you can choose this last option, organization, programs, sites, classes, and child. It will just take a few moments to generate the more information that you have included in the report. Sometimes it can just take a few moments. But versus looking at this as a chart, we're going to be able to see just the table of the information. So more of an Excel format. So it really just depends on which method you would like to see the information. Okay, so here we have the information. So this will allow you to, again, really drill down and look at more specific data. So you'll be able to look at the class level on the site and then the child data if it is available. So the first chart is going to show you the fall. And then here we can see our winter information. So you can see the total number of children, the average score, the number of children below, the percent of the children below, and then the same for meeting and exceeding. So the reason, again, that you see that these numbers look much higher than what we're typically used to seeing within reports is because they are those scaled scores. We also have the growth report, and so we've made some changes to the growth report as well. So that's going to be the third link down. So again, you're able to look at all areas of development, or you can choose to exclude certain areas of development if you would like. We can also look at all children, and this also includes archived children as well. So if you would like to include archived children, just make sure that you do click this box. Demographics, the default is going to include all of your demographics, but you are able to filter out if you would like to exclude certain demographics. With the growth report, you will choose a color band, so we can look at the pre-K4 blue color band, and you will need to have two checkpoint periods, two final checkpoint periods in order to run this report. So we're going to look at the fall to spring 2010-2011. And again, you're able to choose whether to run this report by organization or even to drill down to the child. So let's just keep this at organization. So here we have our report has been generated. So the top is going to show us a growth summary. So that's where we see this smaller box here where we're looking at the different areas of development, number of children, the number of children below the growth range, percentage of children below the growth range, and then it's going to combine meaning and above the growth range, both the number and the percentage. So this is going to be using raw scores. So now we see our scores are in the typical range that we're used to seeing. So the bottom of the widely held expectations is 46. The top is 62. And then it's going to show us the information for our children based on our selections for the fall and then compared to the spring. So you're going to be able to see the number of children, the average score, and then your information for the knowledge, skills, and behaviors, the children below, meeting, and then exceeding for the growth report. So the growth report is most often used for children who might be below the widely held expectations, but we still want to be able to show that they're progressing towards that benchmark and closing then that achievement gap. So we are looking at the whole child with this report, which is why you see that we are looking at the area of development, so social, emotional, and physical. That is currently the way that we are, the growth report is available. Again, just looking at the whole child. So if anybody has any questions about any of the reports that we have covered today, we're happy to go in further detail. We highlighted the comparative and the growth report just because there were some recent changes to those reports, which we did cover during our first webinar, but we just wanted to make sure that we covered that again, especially how you can generate the report. So that was one thing that we did not cover in the previous webinar. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them into the chat box, or you can also use the hand-raising feature, and then we can talk directly as well.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't know if everybody's being shy, but we're happy to stay on the line. We really do appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that we had some of the technical issues, but we will work on a clean recording so that you will be able to go to that YouTube site and be able to watch for future reference. And thank you, Eric, for pulling all of this together as well. We appreciate your help, as always.
Oh, sure, no problem. Yeah, okay, well, I've not received any questions, so thank you, everybody. And yeah, if you have any questions, just give us an email, or we can follow up by email if you need to. And if you have any future agenda items for the next meeting, certainly let me or Ashley or Suzanne know. And then we had scheduled the next webinar for October 28th at the same time, 2 to 3. So hopefully we will see or have everybody attend that one, and I'll get the registration sent out hopefully next week for that. So be on the lookout for that. So, okay, well, thank you, everybody, and thank you, Ashley and Suzanne, and sorry, Suzanne, about the technical issues. Wish I knew what was going on. But everybody have a great day, the rest of the afternoon, and we will see you again in October. All right.